Hey ping pong players, what's the haps? Berg. You know, like the dynasty in Europe. Anyways, a couple days ago I made a video that was about Onision harassing someone on Twitter who had left his Patreon, and I forgot to actually put her description up here and link her channel, so I have a link to her channel in the description. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. I watched a little bit of her channel. It's not necessarily something I go for myself personally, but the quality's good. So anyways, yeah, her name's Ray Bloom. Gee, I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. But like I said, I'll put her link in the description. Check her channel out, you guys. It's pretty cool. I think she deserves it after going through this nonsense with Onision. On to the main point, though, here. While I was making that video, of course, I had to peruse through Onision's Twitter, and there were just so many tweets in there. Yeah, tweets is the right word. Yeah, there's so many tweets and twerts in there where I just kept thinking to myself, wow, this guy, he must think he's really edgy. He must think he's really something. My mind was just blown. I thought it was really funny, actually, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think it's really funny. I think I'd like to share this with you guys. Before we delve too deep into it, of course, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to check out my other ones. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. I always appreciate that, but only if you enjoy the video. And I have a question as well for these ones right here. Tell me what kind of mindset you think Onision's in watching this. I'd like to know, especially like a before and after kind of a thing, and let me know in the comments whether this has changed your mindset on Onision. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. So without further ado, a drum roll please, let's look at some tweets. So the first thing you'll notice when you load up his Twitter is his new profile picture. It changed it about a week or so ago, and I don't think it's really that funny. It mainly just creeps me out. He's got a little bit of looks like blood on his neck, but more importantly, I don't know, man, he looks like a doll or something. Not the good kind of doll though, you know? Like sometimes you call someone a doll when they're kind of cute, but not that kind. So a lot of his tweets, like I said, they're pretty edgy, they're pretty profound, I guess you could say. At least in Onision's mind, they seem probably profound. And one of them that pops up is this one right here. It goes, "We are all nothing. The universe was once nothing as well. Great things can come from nothing." Yeah, okay, you fortune cookie. Okay, what's your point? And by itself, if some random person tweeted this, you'd be like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I agree with you. But I don't know, from Onision, it doesn't really hold any water, and I'll tell you why, because it's not the only one like this. See, he has another one here. It says, "There is a soul to what I do." Okay? "For the last few years, it has been burning everything in its path. I need to control the fire. I need to know how to set it free, so its beauty can be seen, but not painfully felt." What? What does that even... Oh, okay, man, I get ya. You see, guys, what Onision's trying to say here is that he's actually very deep, okay? He's very profound, he's very edgy, and you guys just don't understand that. He's got a fire within him, a fire burning with passion that he wants to release to the hordes of people out there, but he needs to control that fire. But don't you worry, he's not always super passionate and deep. Sometimes he can be kind of catty, you know? That's what he likes to be like. And he has this one right here that says, "To everyone saying I'm being faux positive, I think you're faux negative. I think you want to sleep with me." And that's cute. What a weird... I guess the first two lines would be fine. And you know what? If the first two lines were just there by themselves, I'd probably be like, yeah, that's a pretty good tweet, man. That's probably it's a pretty apt defense of yourself when there's not much you can really say. But the last two lines? What? He's also got one like, "If you like my Onision sketches, a lot are coming. If you like Onision Speaks, a bunch are coming. If you like oh bro, tons of that too. If you don't like any of those, you should not be seeing this. You should not be here. Go home." Personally, and maybe you guys will disagree with me on this one, I'm not a big fan of when creators do say, if you don't like my content, you don't have to watch it. I think that's a little wishy-washy of a statement. I think there's, you could say things like that, but there's appropriate ways to do it. And I think this one is maybe not quite as appropriate. You can't be a dick about it, I guess is all I'm really trying to say. What do you guys think, though? What do you think when a content creator says something like that? If you don't like my content, then just unsubscribe and leave. What do you guys think when someone says that? When people say that, even if I do kind of like their stuff, I get a little sour taste in my mouth. I'm like, oh, maybe this person, I don't know. There's a group of these tweets, though, that are my all-time favorites, and these ones are the ones where he tries to be really profound, and these are where they get a little bit more edgy. He tries to be all smart. I might be reading too much into this next one, but he has one that says, "I eat almost nothing when I'm alone. I need someone who loves me to remind me to eat." And that one really struck me because I feel like one time in the past I read a book that's what Einstein did, and I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of comparing himself to some people that were actually pretty brilliant eccentrics, you know? The Twitter accounts of so many politicians are proof that a lot of us never grow up. Gee, man, coming from the guy who posts stuff like this?
What are you doing?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Some people never really do grow up. Not sure what the tweets of politicians has to do with anything, though. It's more like the tweets of irrelevant YouTubers. I think this one is my absolute favorite. It says, I think war is atrocious, and anyone who values their own life and the lives of their loved ones will reject it completely. Yeah, wow, you're really brave, man. Hey guys, Onision's anti-violence, did you hear? Did you hear that Onision is anti-bullying and anti-fighting? Yeah, great, man. Guess what? You and everybody else. In other news, water's wet and grass is green. Whoa, man, you're really blowing our minds here. You're really putting yourself out there on a limb. Yeah, pretty much everyone out there is anti-war, right? Pretty much everyone is. That doesn't mean it just stops happening, though, okay? I just love that he was sitting down probably on his phone or his computer or something, right? And he pulled up Twitter, and he was like, oh, you know what'll really blow their minds? I'm gonna say I'm against war. No one's gonna even know what to do with that. So many people out there wonder who Onision is. Well, good. That's all right, because he's got a tweet to address that. He says, if you ever wondered who I am, it's 2009 Onision. 2015 Onision speaks, and 2014 uh-oh bro. That's the person I aspire to put on the screen. Pay attention over this next month. You may see what I mean. Hey, that kind of rhymed. I didn't even realize that when I was first reading it. But I think that's pretty indicative, right, of Onision, because it's all obvious now. Because even the stuff that he reacts to, he's 2015 and 2014 version of himself. That's like 5 years ago. That's a long time on the internet. And a lot of his content, 2009 Onision, that's the content that got big with him. That was 10 years ago, man. Do you know how much things change in 10 years? No wonder his content still looks like this.
Batman!
You know, if you can't stand offensive jokes, I'm not your guy. I would promise that I would change if I wanted to change, but I like horrible comedy like Family Guy and South Park. I gotta be happy, you know? Wow, you're so edgy. You're so out there and on the fringe. I don't even know anybody that likes Family Guy or South Park. I've never even heard of those. They're so horrible. Those aren't mainstream cartoons. Oh my, you watch Rick and Morty and you like that show? Oh my god, you must be like one of the 5 people in the world that's ever watched that show. To be fair though, you actually need a pretty high IQ in order to watch that, so maybe. Sorry, I'm really angry right now. Yeah, buddy, you're missing some hashtag context on that one. What are you angry about? He's got sassy with this when he says, my current attitude is, F what people want you to do. And that's how I'll be for as long as I'm able. If I go down or I go up, it's going to be because I was true to myself. Either way, I was honest. And that's a guaranteed win. Yeah, just like when you were all set on being positive, and then you went out and just bashed everybody. You're kind of an open book, man. He's even got some really creepy stuff that he'll put out there that tries to make himself look really edgy. Like this graph right here, where it shows how much money he has and how happy that's affected him. Yeah, like, it's a cool picture, I guess, until you sit down and think to yourself, he actually sat down with a marker and did this, and then just put it on Twitter just so people could see that he was happy. I don't know, dude. I think you can only try to convince me so hard. Like, you're overselling. Once you oversell me a little too much, I'm like, yeah, but are you really happy, man? Like, I get it. You don't have to tell me every 5 seconds that you're happy. You can only tell me that so many times to where I start asking, like, are you trying to tell me something? Again with this, look at this. Are you happy? 37% say yes, 63% say no. I love his polls. What should you, as in you reading this, be able to joke about? 41% say anything, 41% say almost anything, 13% say select topics, and 5% say nothing. Dude, your polls are garbage. I think this one right here is maybe his most accurate one. It's just a fun time to visit his Twitter and read through everything. It's funny because it's almost like a parody Twitter. That's what really gets me about it. But it's sad in a way because you know he's being serious. This guy who's so intellectual and deep and edgy. Look at his cover. Look at his cover. He has some of his skits. Wow, man, you're so profound. He's got so much stuff right there. It's really fun to go through them. And then to go through and read the comments, too. That's what really gets me about this guy. The guy's a real goof. And actually, if you guys decide to check him out, what I'd recommend, too, is I actually have a Twitter of my own. And if you guys want, you can stop right by and check it out. I'd really appreciate that. There's actually a follow button on there, too, when you guys go there. He just has so much nonsense on there that my eyes got tired from just having to roll all the time. I was just, like, every time I'd read something, I'd be like, oh, you're against blah 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 that everyone else is against. Oh, cool, dude. Nice. I guess all I'm saying is that if you guys end up going in, just make sure you bring some eye cover with you, and it doesn't hurt sometimes to go with double layers of protection, just to make sure you're safe, you know? And hey, like I said in the beginning, if you enjoy the video, of course, feel free to hit that like button. It looks like this, it's a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Also, that subscribe button, I'd really love if you guys hit that button. I mean, it helps the channel to grow, and I really appreciate that. And don't forget to leave that comment down below. What do you think about these comments? Like, what do you think's going through the guy's head when he puts them in there? And when you see comments like this, does it change your perception of him, or does it all kind of stay the same? So yeah, check out my tweets, my torts, everything in between. I also have some cool stuff down in the description. I've got a Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff you guys can check out. One thing I like to remind you guys as well, I use a Blue Yeti microphone whenever I record. I really like the microphone. It's this guy right here. I hope it's not weird that I pick it up and it hurts the audio or something. But yeah, it's a decent microphone. I use it for everything, gaming, just using the regular computer, anything like that. If you guys have thought about upgrading your audio equipment, or even thought about starting a YouTube channel, which I definitely recommend, tons of fun, feel free to, I'll put the link in the description. It's an affiliate link as well. So if you end up purchasing through that link, it ends up supporting the channel. And I really appreciate that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Batman!
Ah!
You're Batman!
I have nipple sauce on my penis!